From sea to shining sea and beyond. Welcome home, Illinois Wesleyan class of 2020. With today's commencement ceremony, we recapture this special moment in time, a milestone of achievement in an exhausting year. Today, we recapture more than a ceremony. We celebrate your first homecoming as alumni. We celebrate your strength. Yeah, let's give it up for homecoming. We celebrate your strength and your growth, both during your time at IWU and in this past year. We honor our deep and enduring friendships with this community of Titans in this joyful, spirited place. We cherish the family, the educators, the mentors, and the experiences that prepared us for tackling the world's biggest problems that we faced this year. COVID-19 pandemic, racial injustice, the effects of global warming, and the deep political divides facing our nation, just to name a few. We recapture a call to leadership. In reclaiming this moment, we also reclaim the words that have dominated our lives. We recognize that we are all rapidly evolving. Our liberal arts foundation prepared us for the flexibility and agility required in today's world. We know that pivoting that's required will be an enduring need to dismantle the systems of oppression as we examine Amanda Gorman's notion of what just isn't always justice. We are proud of your leadership and resilience. You are indeed unprecedented in this unique point in time where you are needed more than ever. These words have power that we can reclaim to represent the best of our character rather than the challenges of our time. As we celebrate today, we recommit to a hope for the future. We channel the strengths of this place to rejuvenate our spirits. We return to a vision of hope, strength, power, wisdom, justice, peace, and love. We bring our experiences, our communities, our knowledge, and our wisdom to a world that we inspire and that inspires us in return. We recapture, reclaim, rejuvenate, and reimagine our future together. Welcome home, class of 2020.
Please be seated. Thank you, Dean Carla. Let me just remind folks that what enables us to be together today in this space is following the protocols and the guidelines for masking. So I appreciate that everyone will continue to follow those guidelines. So good evening and welcome to Illinois Wesleyan University's 171st commencement. No, wait, 170th? Maybe it's the 171st. Anyway, we're all here together in person, and that's great. Members of the class of 2020, faculty and staff members, parents, families, and friends, we are thrilled to be able to come together today to hold the celebration of a very significant milestone that we weren't able to hold in person last year. Thank you so much for coming back. You're already showing your spirit as IWU alumni. I think this past 14 months have led us to realize, perhaps more than ever, that nobody makes it alone. And so to begin, I invite the members of the great class of 2020 to join me in expressing appreciation for their parents and all those who have helped them along the way to become university graduates. And as well, let me ask our guests to join me in congratulating this evening the class of 2020 graduates of Illinois Wesleyan University. Thank you. Historic class of 2020. Your last semester here was, well, what can we say? Unprecedented, extraordinary, challenging, stressful, unique. You had to adapt overnight to conditions the world had not experienced for more than a century, and you did it. You made it to the finish line, ready to go out into the world with a uniquely well-earned university degree. We're so very proud of you. To open this belated commencement ceremony, I thought I would just tell you of an eye-opening experience that I had a few days ago. Last Thursday, I was leading a discussion among about 40 college and university presidents. We had come together to discuss the many challenges facing higher ed today. At one point in our Zoom call, because of course it was a Zoom call, we were creating a word cloud. I'm sure many of you are familiar with this technology. Every participant can submit a word, and the software assembles the words in such a way that the most frequently mentioned ones stand out by their size, bold print, color, and so forth. It's fun to do this in real time because you see the words shifting and rearranging, some coming forward, others shrinking and fading into the background. Well, I expected to see words like cost or finances, COVID or pandemic, racial tensions or reckoning, topics that have necessarily dominated our thoughts this year. And those words were there. But I did not expect what became so clear on all of our screens. Eclipsing all other terms, large and bold, was the word sacrifice. I asked for reflections. Why had folks entered that term? What did it mean to them? It turned out it meant two things. First, it was a recognition that we have all had to experience sacrifice. For some of us, the sacrifices may have been mere inconveniences. For others, perhaps some in this very room, there has been the terrible sacrifice of losing a loved one. But all of us, in one way or another, had to sacrifice some of what we considered normal, some of our expectations. Certainly that was true for the class of 2020. Hugs, parties, regular athletic seasons, in-person theater and concerts, and in-person commencement. These and many other things were sacrificed to the pandemic. But second, the presidents in that meeting recognized that not only had our campuses experienced sacrifice, they had also offered sacrifices for one another. This, too, is certainly true of our campus. Illinois Wesleyan, beginning with you and continuing through the class of 2021, has managed to make it through the pandemic remarkably well. Yes, we had individual cases, but we had almost no outbreaks, and we had no instances of infection originating on campus. I truly believe that's because, as a community, we determined that we would get through this together. Faculty and staff worked incredibly hard to find ways to make our campus as safe as we could. And you, the class of 2020, set an example by really committing to the Titan Pledge. In other words, we sacrificed for the good of the whole. We sacrificed for one another. We are living in a period where the vocabulary and concepts of self-care, me time, love yourself first, have become very prominent. But I hope that one of the positives we take away from the COVID era, and that the class of 2020 has taken away from your experience, is that we can override that default setting we all seem to have of me first. We can reach out and care for one another, and yes, even be prepared to sacrifice for one another and for the greater good. You, class of 2020, are already on the path to building your futures, our future. And our country needs you to go forward as citizens, to overcome the many voices today urging love of self above all, and to think instead about the good of the whole, of our nation, of our world. We have seen you do it here, and we believe in your ability to make a difference. And now I want to invite the chair of our Board of Trustees, Tim Zerlong, to offer his greetings. Thank you.
Good evening. It's terrific to see you all here. On behalf of the Illinois Wesleyan University Board of Trustees, I offer a hearty welcome back to the class of 2020, and welcome also your family and friends that have supported you in your long journey. We are delighted by your desire to return to campus on this special occasion and better celebrate your graduation from Illinois Wesleyan. You uniquely participate in this graduation ceremony with the added perspective of the past year's experiences. We hope it has been a year of continued growth and opportunity for each and every one of you. Your 4 years of hard work and your graduation represent a real milestone in life. We may be a little late in celebrating, but it is no less appropriate. Congratulations on your academic achievements, as well as your active engagement in the Illinois Wesleyan community during your time here. It is our hope that in the last year you have felt the impact of that education and also employed a confidence gained from your IWU experience that is helping you in your current pursuits, whatever they might be. I'm certain this class of 2020 returns with a real diversity of experience from that first year after college. It's probably like no other. Whether you are continuing your education or beginning a career, you entered a world in turmoil, perhaps as unsettled as any of us have ever experienced. This condition is stressful and brings unprecedented challenges for each of you, but it has created an environment that does not just welcome change, but demands it. The opportunity to influence and drive change in so many corners of our society has never been better. While this condition may at first appear quite overwhelming or beyond anyone's individual reach, I believe a better future will be shaped by many in all walks of life, and you can, and we hope you will, play a part in leading that change. This will require an unwavering courage to advocate and influence others, leadership in the workplace, in government, and in the community to bring about better, and an unwavering belief in and pursuit of the possible. We are confidently betting on our 2020 graduates to fill those shoes. Perhaps some of you already have taken that first step. Like many successful alumni that preceded you, we look forward to watching you and cheering you on in your leadership in a wide variety of fields. We also hope this celebration provides a great opportunity to be united with some old friends that you made during your time here. I hope you are celebrating those friendships as you reunite and share a few favorite stories from the time here. I graduated 47 years ago, yes, 47 years ago, and can assure you these stories live on and seem to gain traction and get even better with time. I feel so very fortunate for the lifelong friends I made during my time here. We hope these tightened friends that you have made will remain prominent in your life as well. We hope you will stay connected to Illinois Wesleyan and return often. You will always be welcome, and hopefully will always think of this campus as your home. Once again, congratulations on your achievements and best wishes for every success and happiness in the years ahead. Thank you.
I will be honest and say that it feels a little silly for me to give my part because I'm the president of the Alumni Association, Molly Rawlings, class of '99, and I gave you this speech last year, and you're already members. So what I would like to say to you all is we're so happy to have you. On behalf of the 23,000 alumni of Illinois Wesleyan, I get to stand here and welcome you to the Wesleyan Alumni Association family. We hope that you will utilize our programs that we put together, including reunions, events, affinity groups, committees, and so many other things that hopefully will be back in kind of normal as this pandemic comes to an end. We want to get together so we can reminisce, engage, inspire each other, and help each other become successful. Your successes are our successes. Welcome to the Alumni Association class of 2020 again, and I would like to end with in the spirit of our former president, Minor Myers, who was president when I went to school here. I encourage you to go forth and do well, but even more importantly, I encourage you to go forth and do good. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Hello. Oh. No, it's truly an honor to see you all and be here at the moment. But before I begin, I want to acknowledge the president of the class of 2020 because I'm actually the vice president, and the program reads incorrectly, unfortunately. But the president, Kaylee Repberg, is currently preparing for final exams at the University of Denver Law School and couldn't be here. She really wanted to be, but she sends her regards. But what I really wanted to say is good afternoon, graduating class of 2020, family, friends, faculty and staff, current students, alumni, and anyone else who's joined us today. Welcome, and congratulations, class of 2020. We did it last year, but we did it. The year since we completed our undergraduate experience has been unfathomable. There are truly no words to describe the tragedies and losses that have occurred since the beginning of the pandemic. However, hope springs eternal. And throughout the darkest times in the past year and a half, we have persevered and adapted to the severe challenges of the unknown. As hope and change are bred in adversity, we can act upon the pressing issues that were made painfully evident this past year and a half, and hope that it will yield systematic change going forward. Also going forward, with 3 vaccines out at the moment, the return to normalcy, if you will, is seemingly just around the corner. And I'm sure you can hardly wait. I'm so grateful for my time here at Illinois Wesleyan. I will never forget the incredible experiences, friendships, mentors, and hopefully the knowledge that I gained in my 4 years here. I can't thank the amazing faculty and staff at Iowa enough. A former professor by the name of Dr. James Matthews used to always say in class, "Aren't you the best and brightest that Illinois has to offer?" Well, he mostly said this in jest when students were hesitant to answer a question. I believe, truly, that there's truth in his phrase. I believe that the multifaceted education provided by a liberal arts education provides us all with a great advantage as we continue down the path of our lives. As a wise, fictitious character by the name of Iro once said, "It's important to draw wisdom from many different places. If we take it from only one place, it becomes rigid and stale." No matter what we decide to pursue or where we go in the future, we can use our education to provide additional insight and help fuel change. And we will always be Titans. I couldn't be prouder to be a part of such an amazing class, and I truly can't wait to see what we accomplish in the future. Congratulations again, class of 2020. Thank you all for listening. And Titan Green over everything, go Titans.
Hello. Hi. You may not be aware, some of you are, Ian was also an actor, and my wife and I got to watch Ian take part in several wonderful plays that the theater department puts on over here. Just amazing. So, nice work, Ian. It is an honor to be here today. I don't know if I want to speak at all or just take it all in. It's just so nice of you to come back and give us yet another reason to celebrate today. And coming back after a year, you probably have learned something that I think most of us on the stage are aware of. It goes like that. You've been out a year, and life happens, and I think we would all say they slow down after your first year out. Is that accurate? So you'll be coming back in the years. One of these days it'll be, was that building here when I graduated? Was the dining hall food always this good? And what? Killarney's closed? It's all going to happen one of these days. And just for me personally, it's nice to be up here without wearing a mask. Those of us that have been able to teach in class, this is the first time without my glasses fogged up in about 4 months, so this is kind of nice. And also, as you go through your days, you learn, as many of you have no doubt, to recognize people from the top of their nose up. I even think my hearing has improved by having to not hear quite right. Well, to start, I'd like to first off, it's unbelievable that we're here. And if I may, I'd like to thank President Nugent and the rest of the administration for all they did to make last spring, this year, this moment possible. I wrote something here I'm going to try. It says, "This year has been a moving target, and you've hit them all so often, even Robin Hood is envious." So they've done well. Yeah, you know. Anyway, now to you graduates. First off, again, welcome back. I hope you know how proud you've made everybody, family, friends, us. It's amazing. Thank you for all your efforts as a Titan. As you all know, during your time here, in addition to the wonderful plays we got to watch, you beat Whitewater, which I just thought was really cool. Your football team took on a great program and beat them. Your other sports teams that I really enjoy watching, many of you do those things, were tremendous. Your class set a standard of excellence here that I think will be hard to follow. You really did something special during your time here, every one of you. So, if you've had time, and I hope you have, to reflect a little bit. Think back on the things that you did while you were here and the people who had an impact. Your teachers. If you were blessed with excellent teachers, those who pushed you, encouraged you, spent extra time with you, and opened up their world to you and hopefully opened up a piece of their world to you. Those of you who played sports, your coaches, I'm sure they pushed you as well, encouraged you to take classes at 2:35 and did whatever else they would do. The library staff. I look around at the folks who set up these chairs today. Everything that's happened. The maintenance crew, dining services, career center, admissions, advancement, administrative staff, the trustees, and all those wonderful folks in the registrars who most of you, if you're in business or elsewhere, every time we sign a form, they get to deal with it. So they were amazing as well. To the parents, and family members, thank you for the support that you gave everybody. We heard about you a lot. They talk about you. They love you. They miss you when they're here. And that's all very good. And you graduates of 2020 are and were magnificent. I like to look at the students that I've been fortunate enough to teach, and what you learn over time is every one of you has your own individual special piece of magic. There's something about you that makes you you and just made you a joy to teach on a day-to-day and week-to-week basis. And I had the privilege of teaching many of you, some more than once. Years ago, and I've been teaching for over 30 now, somebody asked me, what do you like most about teaching? And I said, you know what's really cool is when you teach somebody as a freshman or as a sophomore, and then you teach them again, and you watch them as a freshman. And here, as you all know, we advise you, so we get to watch you for 4 years, some of you. And then you see you graduate as seniors and come back a year later, and just hearing what your lives are going to be. I got that job. I'm going to grad school. Not so much these days, but I'm engaged. Things like that. It's just so special. I get asked what Wesleyan students are like. And for all you folks here, my immediate response is, they were well raised. You've done a remarkable job raising wonderful, wonderful children. And I know you're men and women now, but you know, you get to a certain point. You folks have done great, and everybody else who had an impact in your life. People ask me, well, in addition to that, I say they're wonderful students, wonderful people. They work hard, they strive for excellence, they respect others, and they care about things that are worth caring about. That's nice to know about you all. And I'm going to leave with 3 pieces of the best advice I ever got. One, and I tell this in my classes, so if you've heard it, you'll hear it again. I was in my first year of law school. Accounting hadn't quite worked out for me, so I'm in my first year of law school. And I turned in my first paper to my professor, Brannon Heath. And I got it back, and I got a C on it. And I'm going out of my mind trying to figure out what I could have done, what I should have done. Can I do this over? Whatever you've been through when you've not done well or as well as you'd like to on something. And she said, Joe, calm down. I'm going to give you a piece of advice. And the piece of advice she gave me about going to school, but I think it reflects on life, she said, law school's not about how smart you are. It's about how hard you're willing to work. And if a moment can change your life, she did. Because I can't control if everybody in that room was smarter than me. I know I've taught many, many, many people smarter than me, but I said to myself, I can control my work effort. I can outwork everybody here. And so she changed my whole life with that one phrase because she gave me something I could control. And it was just a wonderful thing. Second, my buddy Ron, one of those people I've known since kindergarten, he's head of human resources at some company now, and up in northern Illinois, and he came down to speak to a group of students, happened to be at Illinois State. And the topic was, how do you get successful in your first couple of years out after you graduate? You've graduated, now what do you do? And he looked at everybody and he says, successful people have an insatiable desire to learn. That everything is another opportunity to learn something. Everything you're asked to do in grad school or at work is another opportunity to learn something. And it was a wonderful thing. And if I may, on behalf of what we try to do at Illinois Wesleyan, you've heard, obviously, that you've been educated at a liberal arts institution. That's amazing. I don't remember many of my accounting classes back in college, but I remember the art appreciation class I took and how I'm drawn to watching those things on television. I remember the writing class I took and how much greater appreciation I had for reading a good novel than I would have had. And that carries with you all through your life. So you've got the opportunity to keep doing that. And finally, I asked my dad one time, because students ask you, how do you get from here to here? And I go, Dad, what do I tell young people about getting from here to here? And he said, son, he said, you don't get from here to here focusing on here. You have your goal. but you get there by knowing what your commitments in life are and taking care of them every day, one day after another. And my dad had a way of going, whoosh, 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 as he would describe living one day after another. So, to paraphrase my father, live each day well, and someday, 60, 70 years from now, you will reflect on a life well lived. Once again, congratulations, the best to you. You're wonderful. Have a great day.
Thank you so much, Joe. I'm going to turn to honors of various sorts, but I want to actually respond in a way to something that Joe mentioned about coming away from Illinois Wesleyan and beginning, we hope, to succeed in your chosen paths in life. And I think it was just Friday, I got kind of news hot off the presses from the Career Center. And what it says is that for the graduates of the class of 2020, more than 95% of you are either working now in good jobs or continuing your education, more than 95%. So, that is not the only measure of success, but we have good reason to be very proud of you. And so I move now to the commencement honors for this year's ceremony. There is a long tradition in higher education of appointing faculty members to endowed professorships and chairs. At Illinois Wesleyan, this honor is reserved for members of the faculty who have distinguished themselves through exemplary teaching and active engagement of students, outstanding scholarship and/or artistic achievement, and service at the very highest levels of the university. The guiding principle in awarding an endowed professorship or chair is that the individual represents our highest aspirations for faculty members on this campus. Some of our current endowed professors or chairs, I hope, are in attendance today. And if so, I would ask that they stand as their names are called. I would also ask that you hold applause until the entire list has been recognized. Carolyn Nadeau, the Byron S. Tucci Professor and Professor of Hispanic Studies. David Bolivar, the minor Linnaeus Scherf Endowed Professor of Botany. Gabe Spalding, the B. Charles and Joyce Eichhorn Ames Professor. Given Harper, the Beach Lewis Chair of Biology. Gordon Horwitz, the Davis U. Merwin Endowed Professor of History. Irving Epstein, the Ben and Susan Rhodes Professor in Peace and Social Justice. James Plath, the R. Forrest Caldwell Chair of English. Michael Seaborg, the Robert S. Eckley Professor of Economics. Ram Mohan, the Wendell and Loretta Hess Professor of Chemistry. Rob Kearney, the Edward R. Telling 46 Endowed Professor of Business Administration. Victoria Folse, the Carolyn F. Rupert Endowed Chair of Nursing. William Monroe, the Betty Ritchie Beerer 47 and Ivan Beerer Endowed Professor. Ann Eckhart, the Dolores Helsley Asher Professorship of Nursing. Robert Erlewine, the Isaac Funk Professorship. Will Jekyll, the Seymour and Diana Galena Endowed Professorship, and Michael Tooney, the Robert W. Harrington Endowed Professorship. Let us recognize those outstanding scholars. And of course, distinguished academic achievement by our students is recognized in a variety of ways at Illinois Wesleyan. I refer you to the graduation honors that are printed in the commencement booklet. Cumulative academic distinction is noted by the awarding of the Latin honors, summa cum laude, magna cum laude, and cum laude. The honor appears in the program with the graduate's name after their major field of study. We commend these students for outstanding scholarly performance over the course of their years at Illinois Wesleyan. The program also identifies graduates who have met the rigorous academic standards of Phi Beta Kappa and Phi Kappa Phi, and were thereby elected to membership in these national honor societies, as noted by the symbols after their names. 15 students are graduating with research honors awarded for their projects of original research under the guidance of a faculty member. Finally, each year we announce the nominees and recipients of several other commencement honors. And so today we recognize the following recipients who are here with us today. The Hope Ellen Pop President's Club Award in the Fine Arts is given to Shireen Hassan from the School of Music. Again, I'd ask you to hold applause until the full list is completed. The Annabelle Scrogan Anderson Award is given to Paraskevi Kakares. The Carolyn F. Rupert Nursing Award is presented to Emily Lescano. The William T. Beatles Award for Exceptional Achievement in Business Administration is awarded to Sydney Allery. Congratulations to all of you. And now we come to the part of our ceremony where the university awards an honorary degree. One of the most, and this is a ceremony that should have taken place last year but did not, so we're doing it this year. One of the most significant recognitions that a university can bestow upon an individual is an honorary degree. At Illinois Wesleyan, this tradition reflects a desire to recognize those who have distinguished themselves personally and professionally, and whose lives demonstrate a commitment to values consistent with the mission of the university. All nominations are reviewed by the Honorary Degrees Committee and approved by the Board of Trustees. This year, we recognize Geisha Williams. Geisha Jimenez Williams has more than 3 decades of experience in the energy industry. She's an independent board member and chair of Osmos Utility Services, member of the supervisory board of Siemens Energy, and independent director of Arteris Services. She also serves on the Bipartisan Policy Center Board of Directors, a think tank in Washington, D.C. Williams was formerly Chief Executive Officer and President of PG&E Corporation, one of the largest combined natural gas and electric energy companies in the United States. She was the first and only Latina CEO of a Fortune 200 company and has been recognized as the highest-ranking Latina leader in business. Prior to joining PG&E in 2007, Williams worked for over 2 decades at Florida Power and Light Company, where she was Vice President of Power Systems. She held a variety of positions of increasing responsibility in FPL's customer service, marketing, external affairs, and electric operations. Williams earned a bachelor's degree in engineering from the University of Miami and a master's degree in business administration from Nova Southeastern University. She currently lives in Northern California with her husband, Jay Williams, an Illinois Wesleyan University class of 1979 alumnus.
And the citation reads, Illinois Wesleyan University presents the degree Director of Humane Letters, honoris causa, to Geisha Jimenez Williams, a graduate of the engineering program at the University of Miami and recipient of a master's degree in business administration from Nova Eastern University. Whereas you have distinguished yourself over the course of your career in the energy industry, rising through the ranks to become the first and only Latina CEO of a Fortune 200 company, and recognized as the highest-ranking Latina leader in business. And whereas your commitment to renewable energy is evidenced in your championship of energy efficiency and digitization, It is therefore with tremendous pride in you and great admiration for your many accomplishments and well-earned successes in business and in your life that the Board of Trustees of Illinois Wesleyan University salutes you and confers upon you, Geisha Williams, the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters this second day of May 2021. Please come forward.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Illinois Wesleyan University, I hereby confer upon you, Geisha Jimenez Williams, the degree Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
Thank you so much. This is really a thrill and a tremendous honor. I could never have imagined receiving an honorary doctorate, but I am really thrilled with this honor today and delighted to be here with all of you for this terrific celebration. So, good evening, class of 2020, parents, faculty, trustees, friends, and family. Today is a special day. For the class of 2020, it's a celebration of hard work, countless hours of study, frantic last-minute submittals, exams, papers, and projects that led you to your degree. It's a time to reconvene with your classmates who took that journey with you. Whether you've started your careers, are continuing your studies, or just taking a little break, today is really a day to reflect on the people and the events that made up your Illinois Wesleyan experience. So congratulations to all of you. To your parents, family, friends, and community, my heartiest congratulations. No one gets here alone, and your love and support have made this possible for the class of 2020. I'd like to take a moment to personally thank my husband, Jay Williams, Illinois Wesleyan class of 1979. We're going to celebrate our 35th wedding anniversary next Sunday. I also... I also want to thank the Acacia Fraternity Brothers who are here to support me, with special thanks going to Rob Robertson, Roger Elliott, and Carol Elliott, of course, all Illinois Wesleyan graduates as well. So thank you so much, all of you, for being here. It's hard to start any conversation anywhere without acknowledging the impact that COVID-19 has had on every single one of us this past year. And what a year it's been. COVID has taken so much from us, and its impact has been felt from just about every single person in the whole world. We've lost so much. We've seen friends and family get ill. Some have passed away. Many have experienced this deep loss without being able to appropriately pay their respects or be able to provide comfort to their loved ones. You've missed so much. The lockdown in Illinois began right when you were on spring break last year. Suddenly, your long-awaited graduation ceremony was going to be virtual. You had little to no chance to say goodbye to friends, classmates, professors, and others special to you. We hope that today will help lessen any disappointment, or at least some of the disappointment from last year, and we're so delighted to see you all here today to be able to celebrate you. I think one of the enduring things about this pandemic is the importance of human connection, the need for sharing and connecting with those we hold dear, whether they be family or close friends. Perhaps the enduring lesson of the pandemic is going to be to never take for granted, to treasure and nurture those relationships that are truly special in your lives. All of us coming together today to celebrate you, to celebrate your accomplishments, is in fact a testament to just that. So don't take today for granted. After the ceremony, take a moment to personally thank those people that are special to you for making today possible. Thank those that made it a lot, or maybe at least a little easier for you to get your degrees. And say thank you. I guarantee that you won't regret it. Now, because you are all extremely intelligent, highly educated graduates of Illinois Wesleyan, I'm sure that you have undoubtedly figured out that the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic, will not be the very last challenge that you face in your lives. There will be many other challenges, big and small, that you're going to have to deal with. To that end, President Nugent asked me to share my personal journey and to briefly describe how I face some challenges with perseverance, confidence, and the help of some special relationships, in the hopes that maybe, in some small way, I might inspire you to do the same. I am an immigrant. I am Cuban. I was born in Cuba, where my father was imprisoned for years on suspicion of having anti-communist beliefs. My parents and I left Cuba as political refugees, fleeing the communist stronghold that had gripped our country. We came here to the United States without much more than the clothes on our backs. I was 5 years old, and it was scary, coming to a new country, not speaking the language, not knowing the culture. But my parents believed that this was a place where they could build a better life, where they could be free to make choices that were important to them. And they had the courage to leave their country, to leave their language, and to leave their culture to really seek that better life. The three of us first landed in St. Paul, Minnesota in the dead of winter, where we couldn't believe what a Midwestern winter was like. I mean, this was certainly not the Cuban subtropics. We soon moved to northern New Jersey, not because the weather was much better, but because we had heard that there was a pretty good amount of jobs in the area, and also that there was a large Latino community. To me, it seemed my parents worked day and night. My dad always held multiple jobs. During the day, he worked in the factory. At night, he washed dishes at a restaurant. And on weekends, he stocked shelves at the local supermarket. My mom did piecework at home, making a few pennies for every dozen lace collars that she was able to hand trim and tie up in little bundles. Through perseverance, courage, hard work, and grit, they were able to somehow save enough money to buy a small grocery store, a bodeguita, where I would work after school when I was a kid. When other girls had ballet lessons or brownie meetings, I worked the cash register, giving my mom a much-needed break so she could go home, make a little dinner at our nearby apartment. Those were tough days. We worked really hard, 7 days a week, no vacations ever. But I look back on that time, and not only was it formative, I have to tell you, I loved it. You see, I didn't view myself as a part-time, cashier. I was helping run the family business, and I was like 8 years old. I was the official interpreter. My English had already surpassed that of my parents, so I helped my dad with real estate closings and any and all accounting matters, and of course, legal issues, any legal issue. I was part of that community, and I learned at a very young age the importance of customer service and the importance of community and human connection. Over time, my parents were able to flip that little grocery store and buy a slightly larger one, and then flip the next one to buy another, and then another. They became quite successful, and I couldn't be more proud of them. They taught me the value of hard work and that every job is important, even a part-time cashier, no matter how small that job was, and by extension, that every worker is important too. I grew up believing that almost anything was possible if you had the courage and perseverance to go for it, because after all, my parents had shown me just that through their own example. To me, success was going to college. Oh my gosh, someday going to college and maybe getting a good job with a good company. And I did. I went to the University of Miami, where I got my degree in engineering. After graduating college, the first one in my family to do so, by the way, I started my career working for the local power company, Florida Power and Light. Very early in my career, I had a great mentor named Clark Cook. And one day he asked me, Geisha, what are your long-term career objectives? What are your aspirations for the future? To be honest, I didn't have huge aspirations at that point. I didn't really have role models at home from the corporate world. But I thought, if I worked really hard, maybe I could get into management and maybe someday become a supervisor. And that's what I told him. And then he said something that stopped me in my tracks. He said, Geisha, someone has to run this company someday. Why not you? I think I was 25 at the time, and to be honest, the idea of running the company never once crossed my mind, ever. Why not you? I think we all probably have moments in our lives that are really pivotal, that really rock our world. That was mine. Why not you? Well, for starters, women didn't run big companies, not a one. Latinas? Please. Immigrants? Forget about it. But that one simple question, why not you, kind of lit a fire. Over the weeks and the months that followed, I kept thinking about it. And I slowly started to wonder if it was possible. It opened my eyes. It gave me permission to think bigger than I was allowing myself to think. And I started to think that if I held the right jobs, got the right experience, continued my education, maybe I could someday do something beyond becoming a supervisor. For me, why not you became something of a mantra throughout my career. Continues to this day. Difficult roles, assignments, or really any opportunity turned into someone has to do it, why not me? So I took on the tough jobs. I stretched myself, and soon I developed a reputation for being a problem solver. Each time I was successful in a difficult assignment or role, I got noticed with my supervisors, but more importantly, I started to develop some confidence. And I took that confidence to the next role and to the one after that. I believe confidence is like a muscle, and the more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. And over those next years, I exercised my confidence muscle a lot, and it grew really strong. So, in March of 2017, about 30 years after my Why Not You discussion with Clark Cook, I became CEO of the largest combined natural gas and electric energy company in the United States. Thank you. When I'm asked how someone like me, a Latina woman, immigrant, first in my family to go to college, English is her second language, how someone like me could become the first Latina CEO of a Fortune 200 company, you know what I tell them? Someone had to do it, why not me? So, thank you. Now, why am I telling you that story? I'm sharing it because it's the way I think about leadership and the many challenges that our country and world face. Why not you is the question I always ask myself when faced with a new challenge. It's simple, it's short, but it holds great power. It really does. There are no shortages of challenges out there. I mean, think about it. Climate change, systemic racism, poverty, global pandemics, environmental injustice, inequality. I mean, the list goes on and on. These are complicated global problems with no easy solutions, and there is not one person that can solve all these issues. But someone has to be willing to step up and try. So, I now pose this question to you, class of 2020. Why not you? I'm looking out right now at an audience that I've no doubt includes future leaders in our government, in our communities, business leaders and entrepreneurs, scientists, innovators, justice advocates and environmental leaders, teachers, nurses, doctors, lawyers, all ready to help where and how you can. All of you are going to have opportunities to be part of the solution on many critical issues. Perhaps the challenges may be the defining issues of your lifetime, or issues important to the specific people you work with and care about. They may be big opportunities, they may be small. It might be a chance to help millions. It might be the chance to help one. Regardless, when these opportunities come along, my hope is that you'll hear that question ringing in your ears. Why not you? Now, let it be more than a rhetorical question. Let it be a challenge to yourself. Let it be a call to action. Let it be an inspiration to make a difference and lean into it. I promise you, the confidence you will gain from tackling difficult issues is a gift you will carry forward for the rest of your life. Be confident in your capabilities and in your ability to learn what you don't know. You don't have to know everything. Be confident in breaking down problems and seeking help when you need it. Build that confidence muscle. The time that you spent here at Illinois Wesleyan has prepared you for an exciting future. You've learned that through perseverance, tenacity, hard work, and grit, you can earn a degree and you can survive a global pandemic. That should give you confidence, and that should really give you courage. So, class of 2020, Illinois Wesleyan Titans, use your education, exercise your confidence muscle, be courageous, be tenacious, and work hard, because someone has to step up to meet the challenges of tomorrow. Class of 2020, why not you? Thank you, and congratulations.
Thank you so much, Keisha. Now, let's see. We're going to engage now in an unusual ceremony. Okay. Under normal circumstances, of course, I would be beginning the ceremony where we confer degrees. But we already did that. So, casting about for a way to carry out an appropriate ceremony, we are this year recognizing you as 2020 graduates. So we'll proceed now in recognizing the 2020 graduates. First, in the School of Nursing. Will the graduates who receive the degree Bachelor of Science in Nursing please rise?
Madam President, on behalf of the faculty and staff of the School of Nursing, it is my pleasure to present to you those candidates who in 2020 completed all requirements for the degree Bachelor of Science in Nursing and who are all frontline healthcare providers. Kara Noel Bischoff. Rafael A. Garcia. Liana Rose Green, cum laude. Madeline Andre Marie Guiar. Melissa Nicole Holzer. Abby Johnson. Emily Jean Case. Emily Lascano, summa cum laude. Mackenzie Marie Lindquist. Sydney Devon McStravick. Melanie Ann Pelzinski. Melissa Grace Spakapan. David Ikachuku Uauche. And Magdalena Anna Wyszynski.
And now we will move to the College of Fine Arts. Will the graduates who receive the degree Bachelor of Fine Arts please rise?
Madam President, it is my honor to present to you those students who successfully completed all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Fine Arts. For the graduates in the School of Theater Arts, receiving the Bachelor of Fine Arts in Theater Arts, including acting, theater design and technology, and music theater. James Christopher Conklin. Stefano Eggleston, cum laude. Caitlin Marie Feely, summa cum laude. Robert Carson Gray. Morgan Caroline McCain, cum laude. Braden Lee Tanner. Josiah William Holmes Tennant.
And now we proceed to the School of Music. Will the graduates who receive the degrees Bachelor of Music and Bachelor of Music Education please rise?
Madam President, on behalf of the faculty of the School of Music, it is my honor to present to you those students who successfully completed all the requirements for the degrees Bachelor of Music and Bachelor of Music Education. Shireen Renee Hassan, Instrumental Performance and a Bachelor of Arts Accounting, summa cum laude. Alexa Ann Letourneau, Music Composition, summa cum laude. Ari Scott, String Performance and Pedagogy, cum laude. Claire Celeste Chalacombe, Music Education. Daniel David Drake, Music Education, magna cum laude. Kathleen Marie Holleb, Music Education, cum laude. Jake Michael Schering, Music Education, summa cum laude.
And we now proceed to the recognition of the bachelor's degrees for the College of Liberal Arts. Will the graduates who receive the degrees Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science please rise and come forward?
Madam President, it is my honor to present to you those students who successfully completed all the requirements as defined by the faculty for the degrees Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science. Marissa Kathleen Alcala. Sydney Anne-Marie Allery, cum laude. Victor Hugo Arizmendi Yan. Jordan K. Baker, cum laude. John Dennison Barrett. Gran Thomas Bartz Dano. Amanda Jewel Carmen, magna cum laude. Okay. Kayla Aria Carruthers. Paige Ellen Dold, magna cum laude. Andrew Duffin, cum laude. Jana Marie Fitzgerald, magna cum laude. Amber Patricia Gautier, cum laude. Caleb H. Green. Melissa Ganusu. Patrick Emmett Hickey. Thomas Shea Hillebrand, cum laude. Daniel Arthur Hoekstra. Hannah Helen Horn. Pyraskevi Kakaris, summa cum laude. Jonah Kang. Skylar Levine. Oops. Ella Lindelkin.
Matthew Lucas, cum laude. Jack Thomas McCormick, magna cum laude. Anne Christine Myers. Cecilia H. Moran, magna cum laude. Esther Patricia Niedert, cum laude. Faith Rose Nix. James Peter O'Brien, magna cum laude. Alexander Hagen Palacios. Sarah Pombar. Ian O'Toole. Sorry. Thank you. Danielle Nicole Ponsat, magna cum laude. Bailey Nicole Reichert. Morgan Victoria Reich. Skylar N. Rising. Bryce Robert Robertson. Haley Grace Roja, summa cum laude. Marcia Keiko Rolifson. Sydney Rowley, cum laude. Crystal Diana Valadez.
You know, having seen you all across that stage, finally, I want to thank you for coming back. It's great to see you all. Really. It really says a lot about your love for your alma mater that you made the journey to come back and be with us again, so thank you. And now, I'm not sure if this is going to work. Yeah, it is. Most folks, I think, have their tassels on the right, even though, in fact, that's not right, but it's right for right now. So, in recognition of the degree requirements that you have fulfilled, the graduates may move their tassels to the left. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the Illinois Wesleyan University graduating class of 2020, finally. All right. Okay, now don't go all crazy on me. All right, just a little bit of logistics as we conclude. There will be a singing of the alma mater, and then go ahead and be seated for now. And then we will recess. The platform party will recess first, followed by the faculty, followed by our graduates, so we can applaud you yet one more time.